What's up, guys, and welcome back to my next video. Hope you're all doing absolutely fine, and today we're beginning with a new story. It's a technical error. So let's do this. I never cared especially for foods. Believing them to be even more overrated products of our country than grapefruit, scrapple, or honeymoons. Nevertheless, if I may be allowed, I will tell you of an Indian Territory food, of which I was press agent, camp follower, and in accessory during the fact. I was on a visit to Sam Durkee's ranch, where I had a great time failing off unmanicured ponies and waving my bare hand at the lower jaws of wolves about 2 miles away. Sam was a hardened person of about 25 with a reputation of going home in the dark with perfect equanimity, though often with reluctance, guys. Over in the Creek Nation was a family bearing the name of Tatum. I was told that the Durkees and Tatums had been feuding for years, several of which family had beaten the grass, and it was expected that more Nebuchadnezzars would follow. A younger generation of each family was growing up, and the grass was keeping pace with them. But I gathered that they had fought fairly, that they had not lain in cornfields and aimed at the division of their enemies' surrenders in the back, partly perhaps because there were no cornfields and nobody wore more than one suspender. In those days, and you will find it so yet, the women were safe. Sam Durkee had a girl. If it were in all fiction magazine that I expect to sell this story to, I should say Mr. Durkee's rejoiced in a fiancée. Her name was Ella Byans. They appeared to be devoted to each other and to have perfect confidence in each other, as all couples do, who are and have or aren't and haven't. She was tolerably pretty, with a heavy mass of brown hair that helped her along. He introduced me to her, which seemed not to lessen her preference for him, so I reasoned that they were surely soulmates. Miss Bynes lived in Kingfisher, 20 miles from the ranch. Sam lived on a gallop between two places. One day there came to Kingfisher a courageous young man, rather small with smooth face or regular features. He made many inquiries about the business of the town and especially of the inhabitants cognominally. He said he was from Muskogee, and he looked at with his yellow shoes and crochet, 4 in hand. I met him once when I rode in for the mall. He said his name was Beverly Travers, which seemed rather improbable. There were active times on the ranch with Dan and Sam was too busy to go to town often. As an incompetent and generally worthless guest, it devolved upon me to write in for little things such as postcards, barrels, or flour, baking powder, smoking tobacco, and letters from Ella. One day, when I was messenger for half a gross of cigarette papers and a couple of wagon tires, I saw the alleged Beverly Travers in a yellow-wheeled buggy with Ella Bynes driving about town as ostentatiously, as the black waxy mood would permit. I knew that this information would bring no balm of Gilead to Sam's soul, so I refrained from including it in the news of the city that I retailed on my return. But on the next afternoon, an elongated ex-cowboy of the name of Simmons, an old-time pal of Sam's, who kept a feed store in Kingfisher, rode out to the ranch and rolled and burned many cigarettes before he would talk. When he did make oration, his words were these: "Say, Sam, there has been a description of a gallant miscalling himself bevel-aged travels, impairing the atmospheric air of Kingfisher for the past 2 weeks. You know who he was? He was not otherwise than Ben Tatum from the Creek Nation, son of old Gopher Tatum, that your Uncle Naft shot last February. You know what he done this morning? He killed your brother, Lester. Shot him in the courthouse yard." I wondered if Sam had heard. He pulled a twig from a mesquite bush, chewed it gravely, and said, "He did he? He killed Lester?" "The same," said Simmons. "And he did more. He ran away with your girl. The same as to say Miss Ella Bynes. I thought you might like to know, so I rode out to impart the information." "I'm much obliged, Jim," said Sam, taking the chewed twig from his mouth. "Yes, I'm glad you rode out. Yes, I'm right glad." "Well, I'll be reading back, I reckon. That boy I left in the feed store don't know hay from odds. He shot Lester in the back." "Shot him in the back?" "Yes, while he was hitching his horse." "I'm much obliged, Jim. I kind of thought that you'd like to know as soon as you could. Come in and have some coffee before you ride back, Jim." "Why, no, I reckon not. I must get back to the store." "And you say?" "Yes, Sam. Everybody's seen them drive away together in a buckboard with a big bundle like clothes tied up in the back of it. He was driving the team he brought over with him from Muskogee. They'll be hard to overtake right away, and which I was going on to tell you. They left on the Guthrie Road, but there is no telling which forks they'll take. You know that. All right, Jim. Much obliged. You're welcome, Sam. Simmons rolled a cigarette and stabbed his pony with both halves. 20 yards away, he reined up and called back. You don't want no assistance, as you might say? Not any, thanks. I didn't think you would. Well, so long. Alright, guys. Thank you for joining me today, and see you tomorrow on the second part. Bye.